Hello, Laila. Hi, Laila. So adorable.
Okay, so
Laila, look at the camera. Hi, baby. Hi.
So,
I follow you on Instagram.
really, I'm scared. Okay. She's not a people person at all, like me.
Okay.
So,
But I follow all about her on Instagram, so she's
Right.
adorable.
and me, but yeah. Anyway, so I think what I want to tell people is the only thing that you can get from your pets is actually unconditional love and not COVID-19. First of all, let's make it very clear that a lot of people are actually abandoning their dogs, especially pedigree dogs like huskies and golden retrievers and even Persian cats, because some tiger, Nadia, in another country got it, and it cannot spread from animal to human or human to animal.
Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of fake news and misinformation that was being spread. So I want to clear that before we start off with the interview. So I just wanted to say you only get unconditional love from pets.
Absolutely. I think we set the right expectation for the chat forward.
Yeah. So yeah, how are you working from home?
Yeah, we've been working from home for a month now, but nothing much has changed in terms of work. I think we're more productive this way. Yeah, because a lot of our work just is with animals, so we kind of have more time and mind space to see what else we can do to make their lives better. And we've been doing work around feeding strays, feeding dogs around our localities, and working with other organizations, other people. That's when I saw all the work that you are doing, and as usual, it's very inspiring. So whenever I think of someone from the entertainment space, from the media space, who's done so much for animals, I think your name always comes first. So Samyukta, really inspiring for not just during the COVID-19, right? It's been the case always. You've always done work for animals in some way or the other, and I've seen your love for your own pet Gunda and now Laila. Right? I think what makes your Instagram profile is special because of animals and pets, right? So tell us all about it.
I think I have decided to dedicate my life itself to animals, and it kind of comes from this Gunda, and he is everywhere. And I feel like a lot of my childhood I spent with animals, and I think that kind of influenced me so much that I don't know who I am without helping animals and serving them. I think I find happiness there, and it's like one of those. I love being in front of the camera where I feel like, okay, this is my time, and the only thing I think about is that character. And the other time, where it's almost worship and meditation and all of these other things, is when I spend my time with animals. So more than anything else, I think it brings me happiness. And so when the COVID thing started, the first thing I did was start a WhatsApp group. We are a set of 11 apartments on Kanakpura Road. We have a group. I said, whoever's interested in feeding, if you're scared of going out and feeding, give us food if you want. We will find feeders and we will provide. And then I got a call from the MP office here, Tejasvi Surya's office, saying, what is that you need? I said, I need permissions for my feeders and we will feed the dogs. That's it. So then we met with the DCP and we made a list of feeders in my area. So I started with feeding, I think, 150 dogs. And now we're feeding 3,000. And then the fundraiser became bigger. It became all of Bangalore. And then that's it. And all my babies are being fed. And what people don't realize is even if you don't like animals, if these dogs starve and die or they eat the rodents, it can lead to plague, and that to solve that issue will take so many more years. And so to spread this awareness, I started a small initiative. But man, this is in the time of crisis, you meet some of the most beautiful people. I find all my volunteers going out of their way to serve these dogs. People donating left, right, and center. I'm getting food outside my home, like 100 kgs, 200 kgs every day. And I'm so grateful for these volunteers. I mean, there's so much heart. And I'm so glad that I know people who love, even youth, who really dedicate their lives and who want to serve animals. I think the most beautiful thing to do.
Right.
So yeah, I think my addiction or obsession comes from my dog. Whatever I am, whatever I ever will be, in terms of an actor, in terms of a human being, is only because of Gunda. And I think even when I won my film fair, I gave the award to Gunda and people were laughing. But I know my life and I know my truth. And anything I'll ever be will be because of him. And I want to grow up to be a dog. So I'm still getting there.
I think we relate, right? Because we've dedicated our lives behind what we've learned from our dog. Like for me, it's Charlie. For you, it's Gunda. Uh, I quit whatever I used to do before just to build this company around pets and animals. So, and even you, Samyukta, I mean, I've never really hesitated to talk to you. I mean, you're such a reputed actress in the country. You're one of the upcoming actresses in the country, done some great movies, act with some really good people. But I never really hesitate to talk to you because I think you bring that kindness out, right? You never. I again, thanks to Gunda, I'm sure you'll say that you've learned.
I'm not there. I'm telling you, if I'm kind, if I'm anything good in life, nah, just straight give credit to my dog and nobody else. No, but I know my mom and dad kind of get upset sometimes. But the truth is that the amount of time I spent and I mean the kind of love that I got from it, how much I indulged in this, is the only reason I'm like this. And yeah, I think most of my childhood, my socializing, my party time was with him. I used to bunk college, go back and stay with him. So I was little mad, but the madness has led to this, and I'm so no complaints.
Yeah, I mean, this madness comes to a few people, and like I always say, we are the few lucky ones, so we should be happy.
I'm a little too mad. So by the way, everything that I own as well. So I've now adopted, like, with wildlife SOS, a bear, a tiger, an elephant, now a cow, a wild head with PFA. I'm the ambassador for urban wildlife, for people for animals. I work with PETA in the entertainment department. So I don't know so I always want to be a vet and serve animals, okay? But I found out that because of the lack of equipment in India, and the fact that you need to put more animals to sleep, most suicides among the doctors happens with vets. And that kind of crushed me a bit. So I decided I'd do volunteer work when I was in college itself. It's not now that I've started all this. I used to work with Cupa, Gipa, everything when I was like 15, 16, I started off. And that's it. It's become a part of who I am. So they're like, oh, are you this? Are you that? No, I am. I think this inspires me to become something else.
Right. I think that led you to where you reached today, right? It's not the other way. So have you always had pets in your life? Like ever when you
I think my dad used to hate dogs, okay? And that's how Gunda happened, I'll tell you. He wanted me to be a singer. So he had put me in Hindustani, Carnatic, classical, Bhagavad Gita classes. And everyone in my family used to sing. And for me, I used to run, right? So I had this little ladybird where I had to wherever I found a pup or a kitten, I used to put it in the basket and take that with me to my music class when I was 10, 11. And my dad used to hate it. So one morning when I got up, outside my house on the drain, there were there were 4 dogs and the mother had died. So I just picked up 2 puppies and I got it home. And my dad said, you can walk out of the house with these pets if you want, but you can't come inside. I said, sure. Okay. So I walked out of the house, and by the way, I was 11 or 12, okay? I walked out of the house, and it was in August, so it was raining. And my neighbor actually took me to their house because I was drenched I was like protecting my babies. And so all the siblings died, and the vet also said the next day that this guy won't survive. There's no point to it. And finally, my dad let me inside the house the next day with a carton. And he said, because it was just one puppy right now, he said, this will stay outside under the stairs. And he locked me in the room. But slowly, I think my dad loved Gunda as much as I did with time, after 13 years.
Right.
I think he used to look after, he was equally attached. But I mean, that shift that happened and the way Gunda grew into our lives was one of the most beautiful things. And that's how Gunda happened. and he was adopted. So is Laila, by the way. She's a mix. By the way, she looks very Persian, but as a puppy, as a kitten, she was brown in color. Like her siblings look a little more stray, and she's not. So she's supposed to be way bigger than what she is. So, and then I had a hamster called Boo Boo. Like I don't know. I don't remember my life without animals. And my aunt used to have a farm with like 16 buffaloes.
Okay.
And when we used to have dinner in their homes, there used to be snakes walking around. So I think the only thing I'm really scared of is human beings. Other than that, I'm pretty chilled out. I'm not scared of anything in my life.
I like it. So, how's been the acting journey for you? Like, how do you find that balance between love for animals, love for what you?
So interestingly, I did an interview recently where I played a journalist,
Okay.
and I'm also a slightly dark person in the film, as in I'm jealous and I'm an aggressive chaser and all that. So I said, so they said, you have to look into these characters, da, da, da. And after finishing, I did an interview and they asked me, where was your inspiration? I said, when I walked, I thought I was an eagle. Right? My walking style came from, what if I was an eagle? And when I had to fight, I see my cat, Lela, fight. Or even when she poops, it's so graceful, like it's so beautiful. So I had a fight scene with this girl, and I had my inspiration was fighting like a cat. It's interesting. When I want to play calm, I think of a cow, and when there's romance, I actually think of a monkey. I love monkeys. So I guess what has happened is I have found this to inspire me in that, and that's how things work. I think also if you meet like a dog on the road, it can have all the skin diseases in the world, all kinds of issues, but it still wants love. It still has that faith. It still has that love. And it doesn't know if you'll come back or not. It just give you love, right? So when you start giving love like that to everything, table, chair, plants, trees, humans, the world is very, very kind, I feel. And I only wish to take more inspiration from animals and nature. So yeah, that.
I'm just so overwhelmed by what you said, Samyukta. Amazing. Like really. I can relate to an extent, but I really did not expect you'll say so much about your acting. It's still whatever you said is still going on in my mind about what you said about
I've
monkey.
said monkey, I've said all these bears, everything. I really think that even a butterfly, when you start thinking like that, somehow I become that. I am a very lost person, okay? Like I'm just like, who are you all the time? But when you give me a character, I know who I am, and then I get inspiration from other things. I really feel that. Yeah.
Why don't you tell the name of this movie which you described now? I'm sure people who listen to this
So
will know.
it's a very, we've been given one of the best web series of the year award, and it has been listed across all platforms as the best web series. It's called God, and I play a very badass journalist and called Divya Matthews. And I'm telling you, when I walked, when I fought, it was only Leila on my mind.
I'm sure a lot of people will go back to watch that because I am curious. I've seen
Yeah,
the series because you have shared it with me earlier, but I'm again going to go back and watch just to see how that can be related to Lela. And I think this time when I watch, it's going to be a different
it,
feel.
it, it may not, um, like I said, to be graceful, no matter what you do, is something you learn from animals, right? And I don't know, there's so much class and dignity I find in these animals, and I want to be that. No matter what I do in my life, I somehow find I'm like, what would a dog do? And that changes everything, right? And you can't be hateful or have vengeance and all these things. It's really there and honest.
Amazing. And I can vouch for whatever you're speaking because I know like 100% whatever you're saying is completely true because I've known you for years now. There's never a time when I message Samyukta and she doesn't respond or she'll be like, hey, why should I talk to you? Who are you?
But I don't know who do that. They must, I mean, I don't think they're human if they do that, but yeah.
I'm sorry?
I mean, that's not nice to do to anyone. I
Yeah.
don't know anyone in my life who does that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably we think differently because we relate more with animals, but it's been a pleasure knowing you always. So, let me ask you this, right? Is everybody in your family like, now I know your dad is fond of Gunda, and I'm sure he's fond of Laila. That's been a transformation. But other than your dad, I keep seeing your mom, your grandmom, your brother on your Insta stories. I mean, as a family, you're very, very close, right? Like, you have a great family bonding. So is everybody like this with animals, or
The truth is, once you understand and indulge with a dog, you'll only get better and more sensitive. And once that happens, it's very difficult to go back. So for all those who think that what I'm saying doesn't make sense, what is she saying? Most people think I'm like crazy till they actually get a pet or they spend time with animals, right? So that's the thing. I understand animals only because I've spent so much time with them. Once people do that, they become better human beings. They become more sensitive. They get kinder, and there's really nothing more addictive in life, I feel. So my mom now, okay, so my dad, I think, still loves only Gunda. It's hard for him to understand other dogs still. He's not going to get close to other dogs. But even to get Lela was a tough time because I was so attached to Gunda. It took me years to just really understand that he's no more. I was in denial for the longest time, and it hit me very, very badly. I actually left home. I went off to Bombay, and it was a very bad time. It took me so much to get back to say, you know what, I can get another pet. I'm already like going to cry, but
I know I
I, I really, it affected me a lot. It affected me in every little way. And so I decided that anything that I do will be for him. And that changed things. But I got very lonely. I think I'm a mom, I want to look after as many animals as possible. And so I went up to my parents and said, listen, I know I can't get another dog, but I need something because I need something to look after, and something that wants me back. And that kind of love, that reciprocation that animals give, humans can never give. So since I've seen that, no matter how many stray dogs I looked after, whatever I did, and like had these elephants and all that I adopted, it used to crush me when I came back home. So my parents said, no, you're going to get addicted to it again, and then there's going to be depression, and then there's going to be all these things. And that's why she's called Lela, by the way. It's based off a song by Eric Clapton, where it says, what do you do when you're lonely, no one waiting by your side? And you got me on my knees, Lela. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? And it's magic what happened. My parents said, no, 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 get out of the house. I went out of the house again. By the way, this is not long back, 1.5 years back.
Yeah.
And they said, no way are you getting a pet. And then I put it up in all these adoption groups saying, I'm looking to adopt a cat. And the number of people who sent me cats and the cutest little things, I wanted all of it, okay? And then I started like panicking, saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to be a mom again. I drove to Sadashiv Nagar. There was this basket full of kittens, and this girl just pounced on me. And I was playing that song. I said, by the way, you're Lela. And I came back home and I left the cat. I told my parents 3 days. 3 days she's going to be with us. And then you decide. And I think she's the most beautiful looking cat in the world. And nobody, even if she says, Samyu, give me your limbs, I'll probably just like take it. That's who I am. But that's it. I don't have bad days anymore. I get up in the morning, my first 1 hour, I play with her. My last 1 hour is with her. And by the way, New Year's, I was in Hyderabad. And I started panicking that, oh my God, I've not spent it's been 20 days I'm shooting in Hyderabad. And I've not met my cat. So I flew down for a day just to spend New Year's with her. I'm that sort of a mommy. So yeah, I think I need animals. I don't know. I probably can live without food and shit, but animals, I can't imagine my life without.
Very, very inspiring. So have you ever thought of taking Laila for your shoots, or have you taken Gunda? Had you taken Gunda for shoots?
No, Gunda used to drop me to college. He used to come everywhere. Gunda has covered my shoots. I've shot with Gunda. Layla has a lot more attitude. She's like, listen, you don't deserve to shoot me. She comes from that space. She's very moody, and she'll say, listen, come pet me right now, and I go, I'm a slave, huh? Basically I'm a slave, but I love being a slave, and I think it's the kind of love you have to surrender to. And Laila will never be able to shoot. Like you just saw, or else she'll come sit play. The second you start talking, she's like, listen, this is not my scene, and she runs. But that's it. And she's very choosy. Even at home, she decides who she wants to talk to, who she doesn't want to talk to. And you can't mess around with her or not. Gunda is to listen. He wanted love. He was clingy and possessive and all of those things. And the relationship was very different, right? Not her. She's the goddess, and we all in the house worship her. Like, yeah.
Amazing. So this is something that happened in my life, right? I want to like check whether it's happened with you also. So there are a lot of people who don't relate to animals, who would have been friends and family for some time, but all of a sudden when you have a dog or a cat in your life, suddenly you realize that you don't relate to each other anymore. Like now when I talk to my friends about animals all the time, they're like, Shruti, don't you have anything else to talk about? Like talk about makeup, talk about movies. I'm like, nope. Does that
No,
happen?
I really think some of my friends just don't understand. They think so. There was this interview where they had a rapid fire round, and they asked some of these industry guys, "What is the rumor that you can hear about Samyukta?" They're like, "Samyukta got a boyfriend. Samyukta is chilling with a guy." Because as far as we know, she'll only be seen around animals. And the second that something more happens in her life, we'll all be shocked. So that's the image I have, by the way. I'm only seen around animals, talking about animals, but I don't care. It's what makes me happy. That's it. I mean, your life is cool. If you're not, I don't mind talking to my animals on the wall. I'm sorted. I really am not. Like, you know what happens when you are emotionally sorted like this because of animals? You will understand what you want, what you don't want. You'll start seeing the right things even in people. And you'll only find such people around you, which is what is great. And the more I work with these animal activists or people who are serving animals, man, I want to be all of their slaves. They're doing such amazing work, and I love these people. I'm like, oh my god, what does it take to be so selfless? And I think that's interesting. Yeah. So I don't complain at all that. I mean, I share my story wherever I can, and if no one is listening, also, so I think I'm pretty sorted like that.
And I think that's a good understanding that we can have, right? Like this is my choice in life, and this is my priority, and at
I
least
have
have that clarity.
I don't have to justify my life to anyone. I don't do that to my parents. If Laila asks, I'll probably have to explain, but otherwise, I don't care.
Are they listening to you say this? I'm sure they've heard you say this before.
So she just sits and stares at me. That's all, and she's very demanding. I like at night, suddenly at 3 a.m. in the morning, she'd be like, "Listen, I think I want food," and she just comes and say, "Wah!" outside, and I get up, and I'm not even like, there's no part of me that's angry. I'm like, this is what I want. This is me. So yeah, no problem.
Inspiring. So the last question for now. I know there's so much to talk, but last question. Does Lela, Gunda before and now Lela and any other animals, do they influence your decisions about taking up a movie? Like if you get a script and if it is, has there ever been a situation where
People in my life, yeah, I think Gunda stopped talking to one of my friends, and I said, "Why? What is happening? What's wrong with that person?" But he is the most friendly. He was the most friendly boy in the world. He never barked, never bit anyone. So if he was upset with someone, it probably meant something. So I took cues from there. But no, I think I do a lot of things that are my art space. Like there is a bit of influence everywhere in everything that I do. But yeah, I think Gunda influenced me the most. So any decision that I take will come from there. Wanting to be a good person, wanting to do good scripts, wanting to be everything that I am comes from there. So not anything in specific, but I think everything else generally. Yeah.
so good to hear your life around your pet, Samyukta. I mean, as always, it's so nice to see all the work that you do, and you inspire many of us, right? I just hope that with this story, more people actually get a sneak peek into your life with Gunda and now Leila. See how how you are as a person with them, and I hope more people get inspired to have pets and experience a beautiful feeling.
Also, thank you for Flow. First of all, you're doing a great job, and I've heard that every time they give foreboding, it's like family looking after, and everyone comes out very happy everywhere. I've suggested your name, and I only heard happy stories. So, congrats on your good work, and I'm sure you're inspiring others to do this as well. I always think that people who don't know animals, when you care for it yourself and be an example, you kind of make them kind of generous, and they become better human beings. So it's these small little things that I did which has made it, which honestly has got me here. And I'm sure that's what you're doing in your way. And we all have our journeys, and so I'm very grateful that you're doing what you're doing, and I hope you continue
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
this.
like I always say, you've been our lucky charm at Flow. You're the first people who's been a good motivator for Flow, and everything that you do sort of inspires us. So you've been our lucky charm as well, and you continue to be.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thanks.
All the best. Stay home,
Yes.
stay safe, and please, please, all of you watching, do not abandon your pets. It's a warning. I'll come to your house and I can get angry.
Fine there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Samyukta. Take care. I love to Lila.